Between 1980 and 1983, British music shifted direction. Synthesizers moved to the front. Presentation became deliberate. Identity became part of the sound. And while the story of those years is often told through its male figures, a group of women helped define how this new era actually felt. This is a look at 15 essential women who shaped that early 80s shift, not just visually, but vocally and creatively. There were many more who contributed to this moment, but these are my personal picks from that formative period. For practical reasons, this video uses instrumental versions of the selected tracks rather than the original vocal recordings. Copyright claims and territory restrictions have become increasingly difficult to avoid on YouTube, so you will find links to the original songs in the description below. By 1980, Siouxsie was already an established force with Siouxsie and the Banshees. What changed was the focus. The sound became tighter, more deliberate, more controlled. Her voice was steady and cutting, never messy. She did not soften as things became more stylized. She refined what she was already doing. In those early 80s years, she showed how strength and restraint could sit together. She set a tone that others would follow. Around 1980, Hazel O'Connor was fully involved in shaping her own work, writing and acting as well as singing. Her voice carried urgency, almost like she was speaking directly rather than performing. At a time when presentation was becoming more polished, she kept a sense of realism at the center. She made sure the songs still felt grounded and purposeful. By 1980, Pauline Murray had already lived through the punk explosion with Penetration. With the Invisible Girls, she shifted into something more spacious and reflective. Her voice carried feeling without forcing it. She allowed silence and phrasing to do the work. That evolution showed how intensity could mature without disappearing. In 1981, Toyah Willcox was already comfortable in the spotlight. Her theatre background gave her control over both voice and image. She knew how to use performance as part of the sound. Her delivery could move from fierce to vulnerable without feeling exaggerated. In a period becoming increasingly stylized, she kept emotion front and center. During the early 80s rebuild of the Human League, Susan Ann Sulley became central to the band's identity. She did not come through traditional music routes, and that freshness showed. Her voice was clear and direct, almost conversational. Against the electronic framework, that tone added humanity. She proved that authenticity did not need old rock credentials. Joanne Catherall's presence in the Human League was about balance. The visual symmetry of the band became iconic, and she was part of that blueprint. Vocally, she added warmth and blend to a very structured setup. She helped smooth the edges without overpowering anything. Subtle, but essential. Fronting the band Altered Images in 1981, Clare Grogan brought brightness and clarity. Her voice felt youthful but confident. She also moved between music and screen during that period, which reflected how closely image and sound were connected. She carried energy without losing control, helping that shift feel lively rather than forced. By the early 80s, Lene Lovich was already known for sounding unlike anyone else. She treated her voice almost like a character instrument, changing tone and phrasing quickly. Her slightly international background added to that distinct feel. In a period that valued individuality, she made difference feel natural. In the early 80s, Kim Wilde was already at ease within a synthesizer-driven setting. Even coming from a musical family, she leaned into a forward-looking direction rather than older rock traditions. Her voice was steady and assured. She did not overplay it. She trusted the electronic structure around her. That calm confidence became part of how that period sounded. By 1982, Alison Moyet's move from a more traditional band environment into the stripped-back electronic project Yazoo, showed real confidence. Her voice carried weight and depth, transforming how the music felt. She proved that minimal arrangements could still hold emotional gravity. That contrast between machine and soul became one of the era's defining strengths. At a very young age, Annabella Lwin fronted Bow Wow Wow with energy and unpredictability. She did not aim for polish, she aimed for impact. Her delivery felt raw and immediate, which gave the band its edge. In a time when presentation was becoming highly controlled, she kept things lively. During the early 80s, Siobhan Fahey was closely connected to the London club world that fed into the wider movement. With Bananarama, she helped translate that atmosphere into a broader audience. Her delivery was relaxed and understated, adding tone rather than theatrics. She helped bridge club culture and the charts without losing identity. By the early 80s, after the disappointment of her previous band, Annie Lennox rebuilt with Eurythmics on her own terms. Her voice was precise and deliberate. She could sound distant and emotionally open within the same phrase. She understood restraint inside a stripped-back electronic setting. She became one of the defining figures of that shift. During her work with Heaven 17, Carol Kenyon added depth and lift to a tightly structured electronic sound. Her strong tone brought warmth into a precise arrangement. She later became one of the most sought-after backing vocalists of the decade, which shows how valued that contribution was. She demonstrated how layered voices shaped the feel of the time. With Culture Club in the early breakthrough years, Helen Terry's voice added smoothness and depth behind the lead. She later stepped forward as a solo artist, which underlines that she was never just background. She helped shape the atmosphere that defined those recordings. It is a reminder that influence does not always stand at the very front. Between 1980 and 1983, this was not simply a change in sound. It was a change in presence. These women helped define how that era looked, felt, and connected. The machines mattered, the production mattered, but the voices, the personalities, and the choices they made gave those years their lasting shape.